is down, but they're looking for the killer blow. That's it, back of the end zone. Dagger! He's looking. Jamil's coming. He's moving. He's moving. He's got him. He's got him. It was caught, but Jed has called the sack. Incomplete. He called the sack. It's 2 points to the Hammerhead. An unbelievable sack there by Jamil. This is the last game of the day. It's caught and it's in. It's a touchdown.
That's it.
It's a touchdown. The last play of the game. The clock is at zeros. That's it. Your Swansea Hammerheads are advancing to the Division 1 final, having knocked off the 2 seed and having knocked off the 1 seed. Alan Young, you look absolutely stunned.
What do you mean by live? Genuine live?
Yes. We're broadcasting.
Hello, radio!
And now, a new episode of The Way We HNC It. Yes, welcome to another episode of The Way We HNC It. It is a big day and a big week in the flag football world, and we're excited to tell you all about it. And as this will be posted on Wednesday, the 14th of February, it is my honor to say Happy Valentine's Day to my co-host, Mr. Stuart Anderson.
Oh,
how are you, Tree?
Besley Barry, that is beautiful, man. Happy Valentine's Day to you as well.
Happy Valentine's Day.
It's lovely to be here with you, my partner in crime on the internet.
It is. So of all the things I look at on the internet, Tree, you are without a doubt one of the most beautiful. So
I appreciate it. Yeah, you're probably one of the other people I look at the internet most as well. I see you once a week or once every other week. Yeah.
Yes. So yeah, we're back, and we have obviously some breaking news. It is Tuesday now, but it will be Wednesday by the time things go out. But it's been an interesting evening of flag football.
Yeah, it literally, for us, it's like breaking news. As we're recording, it's like breaking news. But the time it comes out, everyone's going to be like, all right, cool, cheers, guys. Well, I mean, if everyone's looked at the Facebook page last night, they would have saw.
It's pretty much as close as we're ever going to get to breaking news.
Yeah, I think so.
Until we start going
2 hours ago.
So yeah, I think so. So yeah, obviously the BAFA 2024 National Flag Football League schedule is out and about. So we're going to talk about that later on. We are going to discuss Flag and Ironman this weekend. And yeah, it's going to be a busy show, I think. But first off, we better do
other wee bits of news as well.
Yeah, the main news item I can think of so far is if you know an under-17s flag footballer, don't forget that on Sunday at Ravenscraig, it's the on the 18th at 8:30 in the morning is the Baby Chieftains trials and event for those who would like to be part of the national setup and have an opportunity to go to Bear Bowl later in the year. Please make sure that I guess the parents of the under-17 know, because they'll have to take their children there. But yeah, make sure the kids know as well. And it should be really good. It'll be the day after Ironman, so fair play to the coaches who are mostly playing the day before and then heading back to Ravenscraig early in the morning to less than 12 hours after the final ends, they'll be back on the pitch with the kids. So
fair play to those guys for doing that.
Great effort to the coaching staff who have been working hard to try and make this a super successful event. So yeah, if you know someone who's young and talented, or maybe just someone who likes running around, consider taking them down to Ravenscraig on Sunday.
That'd be good. I think there's a better representation from the coaches around the league as well. I've had obviously in the little groups there, I can get visibility of them, so it'll be in good hands.
I think so. Yeah,
it'll be a good day for them all. A lot of good talent coming out of that, and even obviously after I know you and Youngie spoke about it just the other day. There, obviously the youth winter league Yeah, a lot of talent on show there as well.
I'm gonna ask you the same question that I asked Youngie the other day.
Okay.
3-on-3.
Um,
What do you think of 3-on-3?
I think that the concept is fine for that age group. I just don't think. I think there's a lot to be improved. That's probably the most correct answer I could give you. And there was just a few just like, simple things, Bez, that I picked up on. I was like, yeah, you could probably improve that. You can do that a bit better. I mean, that process has already started. There's already been feedback being taken, suggestion on rule changes. You don't need to hear my, my take and my dulcet tones explaining how the day went. I mean, for the most part, yeah, the format can be changed, and it will be changed, and it will be improved. That's an absolute given.
Yeah.
And I think there's a lot of lessons learned from the weekend as well, from what the teams can take away and work on themselves as well as a tournament format. So yeah, I think there was a lot that came out from that weekend.
I think that's a good also synopsis of what Youngie was saying, is like, a lot of people had never seen the format before, so now they have. It's like, we could do that so much better. And I think Youngie's already working on a summer date, or end of summer date to run it back. So once we know more about that, we will talk about it. We will cover it.
Yeah, I'd say I've not really spoke to you about my thoughts on how the game day went, but I think I don't know where to leave that. I think it was okay. It was fine. Disappointing, in fact. Honestly, the amount of times you get shouted at and you're just like, you have no idea what the rules are, buddy.
You don't know the rules either.
No.
Yeah.
That was frustrating. But I mean, there's lots to be improved upon. So as long as the teams and the coaches provide their feedback, they can work collaboratively together to improve this for the benefit of our sport together. There's no reason why it can't grow. That's what it's all about. They've got freedom to do that, and that's what they're going to do. And I wish them all the best.
For sure.
I won't absolutely slaughter it. I'll save that from a BAFA segment in a bit. I'll keep the anger inside.
Well, I mean, like, I feel like I posted the conspiracy of the week story a day too early, to be honest.
Yeah, I've got my tinfoil hat already. I'm ready to dive in, because there's at least one conspiracy theory this week that I'm just like, I need to get off my chest bit. So I'm looking forward to that segment.
Okay, cool. Well, we'll come back to you for that, as yeah, and we can tell everyone your new job title as well, so that'll be good fun. So any other news you've spotted?
I think probably the only other one I saw was the reemergence of the Sheffield Giants and the Sheffield Vipers having a little bit of a unification. Yeah, indeed. What word, Beth?
What word?
Get you on point tonight.
What word?
Yeah, that was an interesting one. I mean, it's not a surprise in a sense. I believe obviously it was it last year they went down to one team.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the guys went to other clubs. It kind of got a bit smaller, and there was it dropped down to Div 1. And I think obviously just dwindling numbers might be that. Or, is it the other way around? Is it the fact that Sheffield Giants are, they've got numbers from their youth program? Are they looking to combine with an existing program? I guess I don't know the full ins and outs, but if anything, there's just, flag football is going to continue in Sheffield. So
yeah, for sure. So
I guess that's the benefit.
The Giants the Giants removed themselves from the adult league, kept their women's team. I think they had junior flag.
Yeah, junior.
They were recruiting for adult mixed. So yeah, maybe it's been like two teams that are kind of like close to the edge for game days, but together we can have a big club. Seems logical.
That's it. Like I know there's some places. I don't know how big Sheffield is in regards to occupancy and humans that live there. It's quite a big place. I can imagine. Like I'd compare it probably, maybe I don't know, Dundee in size. Maybe.
Oh no,
I'm not quite sure. I could be wrong on that.
Got to be way bigger. Oh yeah, I would.
Let's get our Google on.
I went to population of Sheffield 584,002.
Oh my goodness gracious me! Okay,
yeah, it's big. It's massive.
Population of Edinburgh.
So, like 12.
Okay, so Edinburgh is 559,000.
Okay, so population.
So about the population. So what I was going to allude to was the fact that are they hampering each other by recruiting? Because there's it's a minority sport as it is. Are they struggling to get numbers because of that? Why is there not another Edinburgh team, for example?
But you need 100% to field of the population of the city to field a starting lineup. So a 100th of 1%. So
exactly.
That's all what I always think matters. Like the fact that Birmingham, I've said this before, and we're tangenting hard here, but the fact that like Birmingham doesn't have a team.
That mesmerizes me, that.
When there's like...
That's millions, isn't it?
That's got to be a million people in Birmingham. Look at us learning about English geography.
I know, look at us. It's just so we talk about it. 1.1 million.
Right. So why can we not get 12 people on a flag football pitch? Right.
I don't know why that's not possible.
You know. So
well, there's one for the masses.
There's one for the masses. Yeah. So yeah, the Sheffield Giants are pulling in some of the Vipers and are going to return to and they're actually entering 2 teams as well in the.
Are they? Oh, nice.
In the schedule release spoilers.
Oh, I haven't looked that far south yet. I was saving my own surprise for the episode beds. I've not looked into the the southern teams.
They're entering the black and blue.
Okay.
The black and the blue. Sorry, not black and blue. Here's one thing. As in, you've been after playing them, you will be.
You will be, yeah.
So they've got 2 teams in. There's a couple of second teams in, and we'll probably get to this because it's always a good time of the year to do it with like second teams that have great names. You know,
they certainly come out of nowhere, and there's some really good ones. Like there's some that disappoint you, like the Keynsham Kings 2. I'm like, come on, guys, you could have played on that so much better.
Yeah, or like Manchester Titans C.
Yep.
Like the bees, do something there. Like the bees thing made sense because Manchester's like icon thing is the little bee, right?
Yeah,
fully get that. That makes a lot of sense. But
I think it's from a marketing perspective potentially that they want to be seen as the one club, one brand, one name. So no matter where they are and who they're recruiting for,
you're always
it's all Manchester Titans. So if you start to I play for Manchester something, they might not get it through an advertising perspective, especially with them having a major kitty club in the National League. I know, maybe, but
back to back.
Yeah, very true.
Yeah, and about to go to Europe as well, and that's getting dangerously close to talking about kid football. So we're probably lost half of our audience.
So dirty talking about that.
It's okay. We'll
pull it back.
It's fine. We'll pull it back by just saying that, they're just not agile enough to play flag, so they have to go and put all their heavy armor on and trudge around the field. True. So
the one I like is the Buckinghamshire Wolf Pack.
The Wolf Pack are pretty good. The Wolf Pack are a good one.
I like that one. Salford Scorpion Stingers.
The Stingers, they were pretty. Stingers are
good
bad. Yeah. So the West Yorkshire Warthogs as well. That's
a goodie. That's
a good one. Good names. So yeah. So I guess we will just do schedule now.
I mean,
we're here. We may as well just move on.
We may as well. I mean, there's not in the north for us in the HNC. There's no surprises because we are the most organized and efficient collaborative league.
Yeah, we are so self-contained that we never really have to worry about kind of any alignment issues. We just
Kings out, Mustangs in.
Kings out,
easy peasy.
Mustangs in, no problem.
Yeah, that was sad. So obviously, anybody that doesn't really know, obviously the Kings are no longer in the league this season due to lack of numbers, unfortunately.
It's a shame.
It kind of the wheels started to fall off last year, unfortunately, like commitment levels and stuff. And I saw it coming, and I just kind of I'm not giving up my weekend if only 4 or 5 people are going to training, like 1 or 2 sometimes. I was like, I've got a family and stuff at home, Bez. I've got things that I'd rather be getting on with. If there's 10, 11, 12, if I'm going for fitness reasons or for socializing, but even that wasn't happening, it's like, that's why I play the sport. So I was kind of sad that it kind of died off. But the Mustangs are in. So we've got Mustang Sammy and his gang taking over in Isle of Division 1. So they'll be a good addition to the league. And obviously, I kind of know who a lot of those players are already. And they're going to be a very talented team. New team, but they ain't going to be last. I'll tell you that much already.
New team, but familiar faces.
Correct.
We'll, So, screw it. Let's start with Division 1 Highlands. So, we've got 7 game weeks. We're starting in about 6 of them in March. And Mr. Anderson, you will be hosting. So, it's always good fun.
And it's the Grangemouth Derby week 1 as well.
Yeah, week 1 Grangemouth Derby. It's always good fun to see kind of how things are going to, what does the league give us? Week 1 and week 6 or week 7, depending on the last game day of the season. So the first game day of the season, there are some crackers. So obviously we've got the Grangemouth Derby on pitch 2, Colts, the home team against the Mustangs. The Mustangs are also going to get the Glasgow Killer Bees on day 1, so not bad for them. While you are going to meet, and your Colts are going to play Clyde, the new look Clyde team coming down. And you'll also get the Aberdeen Silvercats as well as your derby there. So a good day to start off with.
Good way to start the year.
Who else we got? We got Silvercats Chargers, always a classic. Is in there as well. Gunslingers and Chargers, Comets and Killer Bees. Killer Bees and Mustangs. Yeah, we've done that one. A nice selection there. And
I mean, we've said this before. Division 1 will be competitive.
Division
There's not
1
a game in there that you think, oh, that's going to be a blowout.
Division 1 will be. I think Division 1 will be nuts this year. Like I genuinely think Division 1 will be absolutely nuts.
Yeah, the more I've paid attention and started to look at teams and see them and work at who's playing for who. And obviously now I'm in there. I've been paying a bit more attention than I would normally. You start to see how quite even it is amongst all the teams.
I also think as well, like it'll be interesting, the classic end of year, who do the Killer Bees lose? The Silvercats are going to lose people to the Oilcats. You would assume the Killer Bees might lose people to the Hornets. Last year's Colt squad, you would assume would probably lose 1 or 2 to the
Mustangs.
Either the Mustangs or the Broncos, with the 3 teams now, depending on how that shakes out.
It's actually the other way around. We've got 2 Broncos.
Oh, coming down. Okay, so again, that changes the complexion of the teams. It's interesting. And if you look at the other side as well, like the cross conference side. So
that was the first thing I looked at, because I wasn't sure
City,
who would be playing.
Chorley, Titans C, Manchester Ravens, brand new on the scene, the Scorpion Stingers, the Lancashire Serpents, and the Wirral Vikings. Most of those teams, we know either them or their parent clubs very well. But
I don't think I've really played any of them, to be honest. This will be my first time playing all of them. Well, apart from Border City, we've obviously met, or at least I've seen them before, but I've never really seen the other teams before.
Yeah, they've kind of been around Winter League. They've been around Flag and Year, obviously. Ravens, obviously the Crows' second team, so we know the club very well. But obviously, it'll be their first trip. Titan C team, mentioned them before. Big club, and a vast population center to draw from. So again, expect big things from them. They were very good last year. Scorpion Stingers obviously have their parent team in the Northern Prem. The Wirral Vikings, they've kind of they've hovered around Div 1 for quite a while now, and they've been up to Flag and New Year a few times. I think they may have also played an Ironman a couple of times. I think Chorley Buccaneers might be I don't think I've ever played Chorley. They've been around for a long time. I don't think I've ever
actually played on the women's team enough.
Know the women's team well, but never
seen
actually.
The mixed team.
Don't think I've ever played the mixed team. So
same.
I think
that's going to be the one with Div 1. It's going to be, there's a lot of different teams, a lot of different matchups. I'm kind of excited for it. It's going to be something different this year, but it's almost like starting again for me. It's like a fresh start, down here, and give it a try and see what the teams are going to be like. So it'll be good.
For sure. And then if we go all the way down to week 7.
Oh God, yeah.
So week 7, when it's all on the line.
Game week, on the line, playoff contention, like play-ins,
potential play-in, potentially like making it into the last. So, is it just the opposite of week 1? Not,
I don't think
quite.
So. No, it's almost the same.
So we don't have the derby
Nah, we're not in the derby. No, that's
no. So we've got like Silvercats, Killer Bees, game one
immediately jumps to attention.
You feel like
yeah.
that could be a big one.
Yep.
We've got because I'm expecting the Killer Bees to do well just because settled squad. Alan Young, predominantly.
couple of new guys as well. Couple of new younger guys coming through that played last year, showed a bit of potential and are still there and growing. So
yeah, and also they had a couple of kind of under 16s players come of age, come to, so they should be playing the full season this year as well. So
yeah, I can imagine you'll see like Abby will be in that lineup. You'll still have Robbie, you still have William, you got Claire, you got Alan, Ferretti,
Thomas.
They're still going to be very competent, and Abby's going to, she's unreal.
Abby things.
She's going to cause damage.
Yeah. So, looking forward to. I'm expecting them to do well. I mean, we'll do a full kind of preview before the whole thing kicks off, but I'm expecting the Killer Bees to be up there. This and
the Colts as well, Bez, right?
I'm expecting the Colts. I'm expecting the Colts to be up there. I'm expecting.
I'm just fishing.
Oh no, but I am expecting the Colts to be up there. I'm expecting.
I think they'll have a better season compared to last year. I think the only ways up compared to last season across the board for both Grangemouth teams. I think that winning records for both teams would be nice.
Yeah.
And it would really put them in a good direction for the future. So yeah, I expect them to be competitive. I think the Chargers is an interesting one.
We kind of spoke towards the end of last year and said that we kind of felt like the Chargers should be in the playoff mix. If not,
I think so.
I don't know if they'll. I think the top two is going to be an absolute shootout here.
Yeah, I'd like the Silvercats to come out firing every week, not just last week, the last game day.
Yeah,
every week.
It's
a long week. It's 7 weeks of football. It's a lot of traveling. Are folk going to be bothered? There's lots of to and fro with especially Div 1. What's going to happen. So
yeah,
I would always say Killer Bees and Silvercats because of the sheer longevity they've had in the league.
Mm-hmm.
They should be the ones that should be thereabouts.
Yeah, it's crazy if you think about it. Like they still feel like the new teams, but second teams this is their 6th season, 5th year. Silvercats were 5 last year, so this will be.
Remember when it was like, they're development teams, and you can play up and down, but after 2 years, they're no longer classed as development; they're actual teams. It's mental.
I still have strong opinions about the wandering rule.
You can't do that anymore, right?
So if a new team, like the Ravens will be able to.
Ravens can,
fresh second teams can, but established second teams can't.
Yeah, makes sense. I think it's like after 2 years or something.
After 2 seasons,
I can't remember. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I would quite like that to just be a rule.
Yeah, I think so. That makes sense.
Rather than the cap on it, but I'm a curmudgeon and I moan about the rules. So,
we'll come to the rules shortly, Baz. I want to pick your brain on a rule. But I'm excited for this year because, I tell you the one exciting thing about this whole schedule, Bez. I only have to go into England once. That makes my night. I've got 3 cross-conference days. I only have to go down to England once. And Manchester. Because
of the arbitrary decision to call your team the Colts and Sam's team them up. And just, to be fair, I think it's a fair trade-off because it's given us Mustang Sammy.
It is the Mustang Sammy. It has a whole ring, a whole segment, a whole musical intro. That's the payoff. That's the downside.
Yeah, but a potential trademark infringement.
Potentially, but we'll maybe put a hyphen in there somewhere so we get away with it.
We'll work it out.
Yeah, we'll work it out.
But there's a lot. It's a lot.
It is. There's a lot of football this year. There's a lot of 7 game weeks, man. It's a lot of football.
It is a lot of football.
19 games, I think it is. I'm trying to find the alignment. Yeah, 19 game season. So 3 more than what the Premiership get.
Lucky you.
But your Div 1s. Oh, lucky me. Oh, yay.
You do have 2 extra teams though.
That's true. different teams, more people, more players, more football.
You got seven teams per division. But
yeah,
and you know what? We should talk about that as well, right? Because for the first time in as long as I can remember, all the premierships have 6, right?
Yep.
All the Division 1s have the same number, which means we don't have to worry about like, oh, a win for them is worth more than a win for us because they've only got 5 in
because
their
their
division.
win percentage is different and all that. Yeah.
Like,
we don't have to worry about any of that. Yep.
We just
So what you're saying there with your tinfoil hat on your conspiracy theories of the week, Mr. Besley Berry, is no teams are going to pull out before the start of the season. Have you just put that on the line there? Is that what you've just said?
I'm just saying you've had long, like, given how late this is, you've had long enough to withdraw. If you're not going to put a team in, you should have known that before.
Yeah, these teams have literally all emailed our sports governing body. So I just keep fishing again. To let them know they're going to be playing recently. So these are not from last November when they registered. This is literally like a week ago or 2 weeks ago where they committed to say we can play this season. So yeah, this is incredible. It's just nice. It's good to look. Oh, if you're into like your geometry and your maths and your straight lines and your OCD, this year's like league structure is probably going to make you happy.
It looks almost professional when you see it.
I mean, apart from the colors, I mean,
almost.
I mean, the red and the green's a little bit much, but
the Midlands is mental. But
yeah, we won't talk about the South teams because I don't quite understand the green and the red and the cross conference and but it's the way the HNC it. Screw the South teams, they can work it out themselves, right?
They can work it out. Well,
they'll work it out. They'll be fine.
Yeah. Definite shout out to the Waveney Wolves.
Oh yeah. Fair play to those boys.
We're going to give a big shout out. We're going to give a massive shout out to the Waveney Wolves before we move on from this. They're in the Midlands. Waveney, I had to Google it the other day, is in Lowestoft.
I couldn't even point to you on a map where that is, Mr. Besley Berry.
What?
But I'm going to do it right now.
You know the bit of England that looks like a butt? Like the bit on the bottom right hand side, the curvy bit.
Oh,
Anglia,
yeah. It kind of sticks out like a wee butt. It kind of goes in the outside.
I'm pretty sure they might be closer to the Hague Hyenas than they are to some people in their division. We'd have to check. But
crikey, yeah, look how far they are.
As the Wolf Trots, they might be closer to the Hague than they are to Lincoln. Maybe. I'm not sure.
I mean, I could probably work it out for you, but my goodness, now that you've mentioned that, I could literally see the Hague there, and it's probably closer to the Hague than it is to probably some of those game days. Yep.
Yeah. So
that is madness.
Yeah. Big shout out to them. I guess them, maybe Exeter as well.
Yeah, Exeter's a far one. Oh,
yeah. And obviously Murray, and I'm going to be honest, Aberdeen. You're allowed to complain about travel. Everyone else just
they're allowed.
That's the unholy alliance of teams that will cover
the whitelist.
That's the teams that will get pretty close to like 2,000 miles per club, so they can have
Hopefully they can keep calculations of like distance traveled, hours traveled, and then we can have a wee travel off at the end of the year. But they're on the whitelist. They can complain. So if you see any of those teams complaining about distance of travel, you guys are cool. Keep it going.
It was the
have fun.
Yeah, it's the one that gets us is like, well, if we qualify for the playoffs, it's the double Manchester trip that gets us. Like that's a bugger. That's what gets us.
Where is the finals this year? Has it been decided? Is that on? Have we got confirmation of where that is in the world? I haven't seen anything.
It just says regional play-ins and national finals. So
yeah, I've not heard anything. I've not, normally you hear it tickling down the internet and through the interwebs of Facebook, but
I think Platt Lane is a good.
I think so.
I think Platt Lane. It's a good venue.
Mm-hmm.
It's a really nice venue.
Big enough. So
yeah. And relatively speaking, central enough.
Parking is a bit shocking. If I was to criticise it a wee bit, parking is terrible. But
yeah, it's a really small car park for a really big venue.
It is, yeah. So, it's not the idealist.
Okay. Premier North.
Premiership. Yeah, this is an interesting one, Bez.
Premier North. So we'll start with North A, shall we? So we've got the Crows, the Titans Bees, the Salford Scorpions, the Warrington Revolution, making their return. We got the Titans, of course, and the Wigan Bandits are our North A teams. So we'll see them in cross-conference action. So yeah, Warrington and the Bees coming up, and of course being met with on the first day the Crows versus Manchester Bees for their first game, and Warrington Revolution welcome back to the Premiership with the Manchester Titans as your opening game of the season.
I think all the new teams are in action first time out, are they? Oh, no,
yeah.
Not quite.
Yeah, those two are. So Warrington Revolution also will meet Salford and the Crows, while the Bees meet the Crows and I think that maybe the size of... Oh, they also meet the Bandits. Sorry, I lost them.
Yeah, scroll over.
The Bandits. Yeah, sorry. Yep, the Bees and so they'll meet the Crows and the Bandits on their welcome to the Premiership moment, which is cool for them. And then at the very end of the season, when it's all on the line, the Titans.
Yeah, they play the Manchester Derby.
Manchester Derby, last game of the season.
Titans Bees, yeah.
So week 5 really... with at cross conference could be absolutely massive as well.
I think that's a big one for them, particularly if they're all, again, it comes down to their cross matchups. But there's a couple of big ones. The Crows Aberdeen Oilcats, always a massive game in the calendar and the
7-point game. 7-point game.
That's gonna be a goodie from looking at it. And if you have a look at the other side, again, you guys, Oilcats Titans, again, that's Titans. Always a good matchup too. So I'd pick that's the best of the bunch from that, is you guys both times. But that's going to give the Crows and the Titans either that extra point, that extra head to head.
And I guess it's week 3 is when you get so interesting.
The big ones.
Week 3 is when you have the Broncos and the Hornets against the Titans and the Crows. So
yeah, in Manchester as well.
In Manchester as well. So they've got they got them at home last year. They're getting them away this year and the other way around. So a nice bit of parity there from head office. So yeah, the North A kind of looking good there. I think again, it's hard to look past the Titans and the Crows as being the top 2.
Yeah, it's hard to see past them. I think if you look at I was about to ask you this, the HNC is looking strong again this year.
I think HNC looks strong this year. I think North A, Titans and Crows got to be the top 2, but sorting 3 to 6 with Salford, the Revs, the Bandits, and the Titans Bees. That's
hard to say.
That's hard.
Again, Warrington have always been there or thereabouts every year. We don't have a wedding to worry about this year, hopefully. And like missing,
so you'd
missing
think,
time. So they should
got to think that they're going to be back and involved. Salford did well last year. They were 4th. They were safe. Yep. They weren't involved in any scrap to go down. Always hard when a second team gets promoted, but they've got obviously the C's. So you would think that the Bees might have enough to stay up. They were certainly playing incredibly well, winning lots of games last year in Div 1. So, yeah. Tight in the north. Which brings us back to home turf.
Maybe.
As the Raptors and Murray come up. And for those of you who were laughing and paying attention, I've totally lost it. So week 1 says Renfrewshire Raptors. Week 5 also says the Renfrewshire Raptors at the time of recording. We have it on pretty good authority that week 1 will be hosted by the Murray Distillers.
It's not an official form of communication anymore. However, we are aware that there's going to be a decision.
That's why
Murray will be hosting.
That's why the graphic on Facebook says the Raptors twice, because that's the information we have. But we're pretty confident that it will be Murray in week 1. Simply because it's unlikely that Murray will be asked to host a cross-conference game. which is week 5, which is the other Raptors game on the schedule. However, I would be here for that. I would accept that.
I mean,
actually, that's the weekend that we're in Edinburgh. So actually,
you're in Edinburgh, so you would get to stay at home.
I would be absolutely.
A cross-conference game in Murray, you'd be like, "Oh my lord,
oh yes,
take that."
I actually said to Sally earlier on, I was like, "Oh, week 1 we're in Murray," and she looked at me and went, and she does not care about the sport, like she does not care about the sport, and she literally looked at me and was like, "Oh, local flag," and I was like,
"Yes,
local flag.
That's what it means."
That's what it means. Yeah, so that's cool. So yeah, of course. So you're welcome to the Premiership moment. Obviously, the Renfrewshire Raptors are coming back up after their yo-yo season, and game 1, pitch 1, week 1, they will meet the Grangemouth Broncos, the third-ranked team in the BAFA Premiership from 2023, while as the Murray Distillers make their debut in the Premiership, they will be meeting on pitch 2, game 1 at home. Murray are actually written as the away team, and they will meet the Aberdeen Oilcats. Raptors will then go on to play the Edinburgh Outlaws to end the day, while the Murray Distillers have to run the gauntlet of the Oilcats, the Outlaws, and the Hornets. Back to back, 3 games in a row.
Well, welcome to the Premier League, boys.
Honestly, sometimes you just have to think that the league hates new teams, like hates promoted teams. Like,
or they just hate the Scottish teams. That's
the mental,
make it horrible for them.
The mental hurdle that is week 1 is
well, I'm on a wee group chat now. I can just see it, like everybody complaining about the Div 1 3 cross conference games that like going down south. Dave Underwood though, he's my guy. Sounds like a regular season for us.
Yeah.
But yeah, Prem will be good, man. I mean, it's really interesting to kind of see when is the big one, the Hornets versus the Broncos. Isn't until the last game in week 2, hosted by the Hornets. That's always a nice little spicy nail biter. And I think the other one probably of interest, I'm trying to look for it. I did see it and I did put it on my notepad, but I can't see it now. Was the Murray Distillers against the Edinburgh Outlaws, which was game 2, week 1. I like that matchup. I think
game 2, pitch 1 is that one.
That's one of the. There's a few matchups I'm looking out for, buddy, this year, and it's definitely the Outlaws and the Raptors games. I think they're going to be really interesting. There's going to be, I think, a really close contention for that 6-5-4 spot this year, more so than what it was last year. But obviously, I don't know what's happening with Renfrew. I haven't really spoke to Mark, unfortunately, over the winter period. I believe Paul's not playing this year. Which kind of impacts them. I don't believe he is. So that impacts potentially their, levels this year. They've still got Ross, they've still got Hasty, they've still got Jiggy. They'll be good, but Paul's a massive player for them. I don't think he's playing this year. I can't remember who told me that. It could be completely false, and they might turn out be electric, but I have heard a rumor, get my tinfoil hat on, he might not be playing this year, I think. So if anyone knows, don't tell anyone because it'll be a secret for week 1.
The big thing for Murray, I think, is they've got Wigan, Salford, and the Revs away from home, so they have to get themselves down to Wigan, but that is the favourable half of the cross conference draw for them. I think they, if they're to stand any chance of staying up, and this is if they're going to have any chance of staying up, they need to pick wins up in that cross conference, because it's just, like they have to. I think that's going to be the big thing for Murray, is that the cross conference games, particularly those 3, should maybe be treated as games to be won, because obviously the other side of that is playing the Titans and the Crows, and that's a completely different kettle of fish. When it comes to cross conference play. So yeah. But yeah, other interesting games, I guess, on the docket. Weeks.
Looking through myself as well. The cross conference ones are the ones that I look for, is the Hornets, Titans, Broncos, Titans, Oilcats, Crows. Those are my juicy ones. I like those matchups.
Yeah.
I think, as always, when Grangemouth Hornets, when do they have their second matchup of the year?
It's early, I think.
That's what I was going to say, because it's week 2. Is it week 4? Can't see it.
Hornets, Murray. No. It's not the last week of the season.
It's not.
So it must be week. It must be week 4.
It's not. It's not there though. That's what I'm questioning. My sanity. Are they missing a game?
Is it week 1 and week 2?
It is week 1 and week 2.
It's week 1 and week 2. So this is the same as last year. They played each other both really early in the season.
Yeah, same again.
So 2 of the top 3. So last year, obviously, it was Hornets. It was Smoke, Hornets, Broncos, Titans. So the top 4 teams in the Premiership are all in the North. Not arguing that. 5 of the top 6 are in the North, right? Going on last year's standings. 4 of the top 6 are in the North. Going off of last year's standards. Is that right? No. Yeah, 4. Yeah. Are in the North. So it's big. And to have 2 of them finish playing each other, finish playing their round robin in what? Game 5?
I was hopeful that would be later in the year.
But just give us a bit of drama. We need to talk. I'll be honest, on Sunday night when I was watching Super Bowl, I think the script writers pretty much nailed it.
Well, everything added up to 13, apparently.
Right?
That one?
Oh yeah. It was that was a good conspiracy, that one, right?
I like that conspiracy.
That was the script writers on Sunday pretty much nailed it. I'm just not sure that the script writers, I mean, to be fair, last week of the season, Broncos Aberdeen on the last game day of the season could have some spice to it, depending on how everything else goes. If they're within a game of each other, that gets exciting. But yeah, I think, Murray, last game day of the season, you've got Murray and the Raptors. You've got the Raptors in Edinburgh. That could be big, actually. The last game day of the season, the Raptors in Edinburgh. They could be close.
I think the ones that remember, the Outlaws are a playoff team.
They are a playoff team. They are.
And the last game week, Broncos and Hornets. I know they've got the Raptors the first game day, but your last 2 games of the year. So you want to make sure you're in the playoffs
before those games,
regardless of those last 2 games. If you're relying on the last game day to get 2 wins, Edinburgh, I'd bear that in mind, because that's especially
when the Raptors have your game and also Murray.
Yep.
Try and pick off some interest. So that's the schedule. North B and Midlands, you're really stretching anyone that I really know. Newcastle Blackhawks into North B, see how they get on. They're into North B alongside Calderdale, Leeds, the 2 Sheffield teams, Steel River, obviously we know quite well, and the incredibly named West Yorkshire Warthogs. So again, Leeds, you feel like, are going to be in with a shout there. Same with Newcastle.
As always, yeah. They're the bubble teams, up and down.
Hard to tell with the Sheffield teams. Have they loaded one team or have they kind of split them out? If there's a combined Sheffield Vipers ones team and then a second team in there,
good.
They're going to be involved. They're obviously playing in the Midlands alongside Coventry, Leicester, Lincolnshire, Nottingham, the Honey Badgers, the Roosters, and Waveney. Lincolnshire, without Cam, totally different team under centre. And again, I've not seen Nottingham since finals a couple of years ago. Again, the Bears, that is. I've not seen the Honey Badgers for a long time.
Played them first year in the Prem with the Kings or Carnegie.
They were
kind of dissipated, but then they came good last year. They started to win games. I think they were in the Outlaw Flag League, so they'll be good.
Yeah, they were in Outlaw as well. Yeah, so they're playing well.
They'll Then the South ones interest me. The South ones are super interesting with Div 1.
They're a bit mad. Swansea is obviously they've been the darling of the last couple of years, but that's a totally different team.
No Ash.
No Ashes. No Ash is a completely different team. You know,
changes up that whole dynamic. And is it
so
the young lads? Is it I forget his name. Is it Harley? Yeah. Is he still there?
I think he's still there.
Yeah, he's an unbelievable talent. He's a Prem level talent. Yeah. Absolutely no doubt. GB level. Like he's going to be keeping that team together, I guess. But I mean,
Exeter, you've got Matt and David as well. Like it's an experienced team. It'll just look different without Ash under center.
Correct.
We'll see how they get on.
And I think Ed and the Exeter Falcons have got a different sort of look and feel now that obviously this will be the first full year that Lewis has been at Exeter. So Ed will have those guys sort of like refocusing in again. So they've been playing around the league for a long time. They're going to be quite competent. They're very good. So they'll be there and thereabouts.
The Renegades, the Wolves, the Wolf Pack. On the other side, the Sharks
B. Sharks B, that interests me. Who's the young lads going to play for? You'd imagine they'd play up into the main Chichester Sharks team. Well, you would hope so because their ability.
They're playing well enough.
They have the blueprint. We've had this conversation on the podcast before. It's like, where are they going to play? Like, I'd love if they went to Chichester Sharks B because they would start. But hang on, they're talented enough to start in the A team. So where do you put the young lads? Because that is a whole different dynamic.
Because I mean, like the Sharks, obviously playoff team last year, they were the 8th seed. And they weren't there. So do you add them in? But then who you taking out? You know, like.
And then VPP is down there as well.
VPP are down there as well. I think
Prem level team for years.
The churn at Div 1 is such, you know, like you look at who's up now, you know, like we've turned up the tunes, the Phoenix are up, the Kings are up, you know, the Spark are up. There's a lot of the top level teams have bumped up. So Div 1 is always this time of year is super cool because you feel like there's such a void because the good inverted commas teams are gone, right? They've all been promoted. So like who's left? Like I think it's exciting. Picking a
do you feel as though the league's now starting to get very leveled? Like I think over all these years of being misaligned and you know, stuff like that, are we starting to mature and see that? Are we in a cycle where we're, you know, there's a lot more like closer teams at the top?
I think yes and no. I think the Division 1 national champion is as far away from the last place team as they ever were. Yeah. Like that gap is undeniable. I think there is a how to put this without sounding like a total bore. I think there is a widening of the middle class in the sense that there's a lot of decent teams.
Yeah.
There are a small group of very good ones. There are a group at the very bottom who are learning new, you know, and then there's a big bunch in the middle that can take points and wins off of each other on any given game day. You know, or I think there'll be a lot of teams that maybe have like high win totals, but if you investigate their scores, they might only be winning games by 6 to 10 points.
Small margins again.
You know?
Yeah.
I think that's likely to happen, but I don't think we've seen a leveling. I think there's still going to be a point when we look at the standings at the end of the year where the drop does become mighty and precipitous in terms of.
It'll be interesting with even on a Prem level playing field. I think definitely the Premiership, particularly Southern Prem A, is so close. Like from what we've seen across all the board, the smoke will be smoke, but the other teams.
Southern Prem A is mad because there's going to be teams that in other divisions could potentially be playoff teams that are going to be in the relegation game.
I think that's a way too early decision to say that nobody gets relegated.
Which is like insane in itself. But like, yeah, if we start with we'll get to A. We'll get
Yeah,
to
we'll get to A.
But like if we look at B, you've got Cardiff, the Tunes, who've been on an almighty recruitment push, the Coventry Phoenix, the Coventry Panthers, the Keynsham Kings, and the Northants Titans. Stacked, right? That's
great division.
That's a good division. And yeah, there's a couple of teams in there. I mean, it's weird to, like the Tunes are hard to get a read on because they're a totally different team than they were.
I didn't expect them to come up, to be
they stayed up last year. They were in the relegation game last year, and then they turned up for the final game day of the season, and they won, and they did enough to stay in the Premiership. They then have obviously recruited very well. They've pulled in people like Jay Bellamy. They've pulled in people like Ash. They've pulled in a couple of other players. So I'm expecting a lot out of the Tunes. I'm expecting the Tunes to be fully turned up. Hurricanes, I think they're going to be back to doing Hurricane things. Obviously, Dre has moved over from the Titans.
Joe back? Joe back? Joe Cottrell, you back?
I'm not
sure.
You
heard anything?
I've not heard anything.
He was injured and out for a hot minute, but I've not really seen any comms or.
I've not heard anything from Joe, but hopefully his recovery has gone to plan. Hopefully
Leaks missed him. Good player, phenomenal talent,
phenomenal player. Yeah, so it's good. Like if you missing, could be interesting to see kind of how that one all shakes out. And then of course Premiership A.
Yeah, let me talk about this, Bez. Yeah,
Tree.
Go for it. Read them out, Bez. Read them out, and then get me triggered.
Do you want your job title now?
Yeah, please. Yep.
Yeah. So it gives, here the way we HNC it, we're always seeking to go on a learning journey and provide opportunities for growth to all of our employees and staff. And employees we use in the most loose possible phrase. Think about a skateboarder's jeans, because obviously we can't afford to pay anyone. So, but we're very just delighted to announce that Mr. Anderson has decided to take on a new official title with us here at the way we HNC it as our BAFA Affairs spokesperson. So
thank you very much, Bez. I appreciate it. I'm looking forward to the opportunity to showcase my talents in this role.
I am looking forward to seeing that showcase. So, Southern Premiership A, Chichester Sharks, London Flash, London Smoke, London Spark, Reading Devils, and London Rebels.
Okay.
Is now the time for the tinfoil hat, or does that come later?
I mean, let's acknowledge the fact that the London Rebels are back in the Prem. That's great. Cool for the sport. Great history with the league. Big question mark. How are they there, Bez? Tell me. From all the rules in that rule book of yours of rules and numbers and ones and zeros and matrix, and you are the god of the rules, I do not believe there is something in there, or there could be something in there, that we all need to find as a community that determines how they have wingled their way back into the Prem, Besley Berry. Now, as your affairs correspondent, the affairs around the league are going to have a hissy fit, as one would put it, about how this has happened in the alignment. There's going to be people that are going to say, this is great for the sport. There's going to be me, it goes, they don't deserve to be there. Then there's going to be others that just sit on the fence and just go, I don't know what to say. So, Bez, what are we doing about this matter? How deep are we diving into this conspiracy theory about the Rebels re-entering the league straight back into Prem? How is that possible?
I guess, like, the rules and the league management, there's definitely questions about. I will say one thing. I have no problem with the Rebels saying yes when they were asked this. Right?
Same.
Right. the London Rebels have done absolutely nothing wrong here. They were asked, do you want to go back into Prem? And they've said yes. Fair play to them, right? Would have done exactly the same thing had it been the other way around. Whether the question should have ever been asked is a very different kettle of fish.
Yeah, I say history, who they are, fine. But you can't just, this is like the Kings going, oh, you know what? I fancy being back in the league this year. You know, and oh, there's a space in the Prem. Oh, we'll just take that spot then. I mean, I don't know. There's always
who have we lost though? This confuses me. No,
I
they only
think
they.
they
Oh,
only had
no, it's because of the DAP. No, never mind. It's because of like the Midlands thing and the two. Yeah, I take it back. I was going to ask something stupid, but I'm not going to bother.
You've got it, Bez. You've got it. So that I don't know how to think about this because
so right, I'll give you the answer to your question, and you're not going to like the answer, but
that's cool.
But I will give you the answer.
I will give me it.
Given that the wording in the email explaining.
Oh, see, I've not read the email, so
explaining what the yes, the rebels are back. It used two words. It used one word which I thought was unusual, which is the word hiatus.
Mm-hmm.
That's an oddly specific word. And the other word that was used was surety. Also, interesting word. Unless, Mr. Anderson,
yes, okay,
you're quoting something else, right? So I was like, right, okay. So I did what I always do, and I need to find a rule, and that is Control F it in the rules document.
Did you search for hiatus? Because that'd have been amazing.
So yeah, I did. I just searched for.
Oh, nice. Hiatus, there we go. Right? Nice. Yeah, I like it.
Doesn't exist. There's a couple of thousand words in that document. Hiatus is not one of them. I then also searched for the word surety, and the only time the word surety exists is when talking about forfeiting games. Obviously, this was not that. So all I can say to you, Tree, is there is not a rule that explicitly says this cannot happen, but there is not a rule either that says this is how it works. I told you wouldn't like it. I told you wouldn't like it.
The community can't see my face, but I just
maybe I should screenshot it.
Yeah,
it's just
yeah.
I'm just saying.
I get what you mean. Like, there's nothing in there that says our team can't come back into there, but we have the league structure in such a way that this is like the Raptors being promoted all over again, like on a league season it never happened, but it did, and it mattered, and they got promoted. This is slightly on that level. I'd say a little bit worse, where you could just go into the Prem. Are none of the Southern teams in Division 1 a little bit mystified by it? Now, again, obviously, we don't know the rumors and the unofficial group chats, and think Swansea Hammerheads. Should they have not got first dibs at that spot in the Prem? I mean, I think that's the Southern Premiership B, but that's a whole different conversation.
That's a question we could definitely ask them. I'm sure we would get a level-headed and reasonable response if we asked that question.
Yeah, listen, the London Rebels had an international working commitment last year, and they could not commit to Southern Prem, so they went on a little hiatus to sort themselves out, and now they're back. I don't know how I feel about it, Bez. I'm not different. It makes absolutely no odds to me whatsoever, and I don't really care. I don't think they'll make the playoffs anyway. I think it's a moot point, but it's just an interesting talking point, community. What do we all think? Should the Rebels be there, or shouldn't they be there? Well, that's going to be my little question to the community today, Bez.
That's your question for the community?
Yeah, I'm going to see what they say. I'm interested to see if they're neither here nor there. Are the South teams having a hissy fit? And if you don't know what a hissy fit is, Google it.
It's just odd.
It is odd. I'll give you that.
It's just odd. It's just odd.
Just odd.
It's just a bit like. I feel like you shouldn't have to look at the league and be like, "Huh, why are they there?"
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's
exactly it.
That's the basic. That's all I want.
When you put in the group chat London Rebels ? I was like, what's Bez talking about? And then I looked at it and went, what?
You did actually think I was winding you up, didn't you? Yeah.
I 100% thought you were winding me up, because I was like, what do you mean they're in the Prem? And I was like, and I'd seen the alignment. And I was like, nah.
Yes.
Nah. And then and behold, they are there. And this is the official one now. So who knows, Besley Berry? Who knows the powers of be a flag football have for the future of our development of our sport, and the review document that we will save for when Greg's here.
We will need to save that for when Greg is here.
I can't wait for Greg to turn up so we can do that. I'm still on the edge of my seat, because I don't know the full proper journalism you boys have went to yet. I've heard
we turned over some rocks.
You did, and I need to hear these rocks. Speak to me.
We do.
But we'll save that. We'll save that.
We will get to that. Don't worry.
So welcome back, London Rebels. Enjoy your league season. It's going to be a tough one.
We're not mad at you.
No, we're not. We're definitely.
I'm genuinely
we're not mad at the Rebels. No, we're not mad at them.
The Rebels have done exactly
Was
what
it? Don't hate the players, hate the game. Is that what it is? They're the players. Yeah. Okay.
That'll do.
Sense. Cool.
So
that's my public affairs for this week, Bess.
schedule release day.
And it's all kicking off in the HNC group chat, by the way. All kicking off. Oh, it's all kicking off. What do you mean we've got more than one cross-conference game away? It's all kicking off.
Is that not the same as last year, though?
It's just the same. It's just the same.
I'm pretty sure it was. I think half the league gets it and half the league doesn't, and it should. Because last year, I
just don't care. No, when the schedule comes out, Bez, you ever just go, okay, cool.
Yeah.
But you always get the same teams complain every year, and you're just like, just get on with it. I mean, the whole Saturday, Sunday thing, it's the same things every year. Have to travel, long distances, mix up with tackle games, you know who you are. Like it's the same nonsense every year. And we go through this cycle every season. Just get on with it, man. We've got the sketch. Just be happy we're playing football and the review's not killed the league, right? Just be happy, be grateful. No, is that not what I meant to say, Ben? Is that the content we're looking for now?
Thanks, Drew. Yeah, basically just accept the bare minimum.
Yeah, accept the bare minimum. You're not going to get more.
I think last year.
Sorry, Kyle. Love you.
I think last year we put in because last year obviously there was time to be like for questioning and changing and stuff.
Yeah.
So we put in a request for like the Silvers had a game day that was going to be south of the border that was playing. I think one of the games was against another HNC team, and one of the games was against, like, it was two games.
I remember that, yeah.
It was like two games south of the border. One of them was a HNC team, one of them wasn't.
But that's valid, though.
So, like, we put in a request. So those two games got split out into other game days. The Silvers basically played 6 games of 3, and everyone else played 7 games of 3 or 2. So we had the Silvers had like a month. It was like 2 months off they had. It was like 7 weeks off or something between games.
I mean, situations like that, though, that's valid, Bez. Like, why would you go all that way for that? That makes no sense, like, at all. So there's situations where, you know, you're maybe the timings, or, you know, you have to travel. Can we play it later? There are things that you push back on and go, oh yeah, cool, we can be flexible with that. That's cool. You know, Saturday, Sundays, who cares? But there's just some things where just only I have
last
time.
Year, that week 1 in Stirling, where it was later in the day. It didn't kick off till just after lunch.
I remember that.
Glorious. Like, honestly, Grangemouth, if you're doing that, if you're booking it Stirling Uni again, like, see just a little bit later. See just like a little bit later was absolutely gorgeous.
Because then you get the people that are there going, oh, it doesn't start till later, or we don't finish till dinner time. We've lost the whole day, and then there's all you Northerners going, this is amazing.
Like, see, just not having to leave. See, just like not having to set an alarm that starts with 5 is like so
Bless
good.
Yeah,
so
bliss.
Yeah,
it'll be interesting. I think there's 3. I think I've seen so far that the Comets have 3 clashes with kitty games potentially already. And to take that into consideration when they're, like, obviously scheduling games for Saturdays and Sundays. I've already seen that pop up once in the group chat already, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. Yeah, we'll deal with it as we come around. But in regards to alignments, though, it's exciting. Yeah, looks like it'll be good, Biz. A lot of good football, a lot of football, a lot of nice alignments, a lot of good games to look forward to, and gives us even, a little bit more coverage in Div 1 this year, because I'll be there. So I'll need to get my pen and paper out when I'm at game days now. I'm going to
have to remember what's going on.
Proper journalism. Yeah, I'm going to have to, feed you back all the other games and see what's happening. Scores. I can get the score sheets in quicker.
And also,
look at
this. On the subject of setting alarms that begin with the number 5, it's Flag and Iron Man this weekend.
It is. There you go. There's an early start, because it's a long day as well.
Oh, it's a long day.
It's a long day.
It is a long ass.
It's a long day if you're winning, I suppose.
8:30 in the morning till 8:30 at night, kickoff to kickoff. So if you're in Group A, so if you're one of the Hornets, the Outlaws, Flag and Bozzy, the Hornets, the Blackhawks, or the Vipers, are they still the Vipers? Is this the Vipers' last hurrah? Are they the Giants now? I don't know.
Who knows?
Who knows? So if you're one of them, or to be fair, Group D, who refereed Group A, so you could also be one of the Broncos, the Raptors, the Vikings, the Frenzy, the Longhorns, and we are pleased to announce the return of the fake bats.
That's amazing.
If you're one of those guys, you're going to be on the pitch, either refereeing or playing at 8:30 in the morning. And if you make the final, that will kick off at 8:30 at night.
Yeah. Good luck.
Which is pretty savage. So how do you want to do this? So the way it's going to work is the top two will go to the championship bracket for the big anvil. 3 and 4 will go to the plate bracket for the little anvil, and the bottom 2 will referee a quarterfinal game, and then they're out. So there's no best of the rest bracket here. It's just go.
One and done. I like it.
So you get your 5 games, minimum of 5 games, maximum of 8. There's no like third, fourth playoffs or anything like that. If you're out in the semi-final, you are just a semi-finalist and a bronze hammer, I think. So you will have heard, hopefully, if you're listening, the our kind of the immediate reaction show that Youngie and I did, but we'll go back through the group stage and see if we can predict some top 2s. And then maybe we'll go through the potentially who could win the best of the rest in the play as well. So Group A, obviously the Glasgow Hornets, the defending champions, were placed in Group A, as is tradition in the tournament. And they are joined by the Outlaws, Flag and Bozzy, the Hornets, the Blackhawks, and the Vipers in a group that could be potentially tricky for the Hornets, but one that I also do not see them dropping a single game in.
No, they definitely will not. I mean, there is injury rumors for the Hornets, which might impact things. We will soon see this weekend. So I do have my concerns about the Hornets, Bez, on this cheeky group here. I think they'll still be okay. I still think they'll be competitive, and I still think they'll win the group as well. But I don't know if they'll get much further.
I think the Hornets versus Hornets game is the potential absolute classic of this round.
Yeah, I don't know much about this injury, but it's a bad one, apparently. I heard about it at the junior football from people within the yellow circle.
the yellow circle. Sounds like someone's peed on the snow.
Yeah, very much could be. Just don't lick them; they don't taste great. And I think the top 2 is Hornets and probably Flag and Ball Z for me.
Oh.
But the Hornets, I do worry about. Because of that injury.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, one to. God, now I'm going to have to start taking notes and start sending some messages. Not that it matters; they're in Group A. So, yeah, Edinburgh. Flag and Ball Z, obviously Merck's team. Not seen much about who they're recruiting. They've been keeping it pretty close to the vest, but I know that Lewis will probably have a band of he'll have his band of 7 with him to come up and have a go.
They're normally good.
Vipers, Blackhawks, Outlaws, I think, are a good battle for 4th potentially. If you think Flag and Bozzy, the Hornets and the Hornets are potentially the top 3 there. So who settles into the so what you're saying, Hornets and Flag and Bozzy for top 2?
I think so. I think that would be the 2 I would go for. I mean, Blackhawks are fine. I think they're okay. Glasgow Hornets, I have a rough idea who's playing for them. Maybe not so much. And then Vipers, again, I would. So I'd probably be, if the Outlaws, again, the problem with the Outlaws is they're so random. Like, they're really, like, Flag in New Year, it was just like, you guys want to play as Outlaws, or do you just, want to be casual amateurs on a Saturday?
Yeah.
The Outlaws have the opportunity to be very good, but for whatever reason, they've just not. I don't think they look themselves, to be brutally honest. I would love the Outlaws to be second in this group, pushing for promotion, playoffs in the Prem, and all that kind of good stuff. But the way in which I've seen them play recently, I'm just like, that's not quite the Outlaws I expect. So, I'd go Flag and Ball Z and Lewis and, Alan Meads. I'd imagine he might be in that little squad of Mercs as usual, maybe a couple others. So I think they'll, because the Quake performance as well. They were quite
coming off the back of the Quake. Yeah.
Is Lamb playing? I don't know whether he's playing Broncos, because Lamb does have a Flag and Ballsy jersey.
So. He does.
And I don't know who's in that Broncos team. I have no idea. I guess Lamb would be, but I don't know.
No.
I don't know. So I'm going to go Flag and Ballsy and Hornets. You can do whatever you want, Bez, but that's...
I'll match that.
I'll match
that. I think...
Oh, cool. Yeah, I thought you were going to counter me with a Flag and Ballsy. I'll trade you a...
I think... If I always find it hard to look past a pair of Glasgow teams, but I'm trying to stop myself just penning that in, because that's what I expect all the time. But Iron Man is just mental. So yeah, if you want to go Flag and Ballsy, I'll ride with you.
Okay.
If you want to go and take a ride with me. Okay. Off to Group B, where the fourth member of the Ironman finalists group chat, Rexy's Midnight Runners, were given their own group. So that's Group B. They are joined by the Grangemouth Colts, the Reading Devils, the Swansea Hammerheads, and then a canine cooperative of the Bucks Wolves and Waveney Wolves. You are a Colt this weekend?
I am indeed a Colt this weekend. Yes,
Pundit Bowl.
This is the Pundit Bowl. This is our little group of not heavenly delights.
When do we play each other?
I don't even know what the schedule is, Bez. I've not even looked at it yet. Not a clue.
You talk about our group, I'll go find it.
I'll talk about our group. I mean, the Rexy's Midnight Runners are totally overrated, so we won't talk about them.
5 o'clock at night. We play each other last. We are.
Oh, all right, cool. The Rex, obviously, you know who's obviously going to be playing for the Rexys. They're going to obviously have your usual ringers in the mix there. But I think that, again, it's just across the other ones. Like, who's the Reading Devils bringing? There's no GB squad, so are they bringing up their usual GB silver talent?
Yes.
So they're going to be 100%. So they're going to be your team to compete. It's a short format. It's quick clocks. They're not going to be blowing teams out, but they're going to be very good. They're going to be, my pick of the group is the Reading Devils, and then probably Rexy is probably my top two if I were to pick two. And obviously with Swansea Hammerheads, with a bit of change of.
This is the last ride of Mr. Lewis, though.
Yeah, I know, and that's what interests me.
There's emotion on the line, Stuart.
Yeah, that's where I can see a Reading Devil Swansea Hammerheads like fisticuffs. I don't know. It's going to be good. So I definitely think the Colts, if we can get a couple wins over Waveney Wolves and Bucks, they're two other Div 1 teams, I think.
Yeah, Div 1 teams.
Yeah, and then sort of see what the pace is like with the Swansea Hammerheads. I think I'd like the Colts. For me, I'd like to at least get 2 or even 3 wins. I'd be very happy with that. I know it'd make me even better if I can nick one over you. That would make my day.
I'm sure.
That would make my day.
Bucks Wolves won the plate. Bucks Wolves won the Div 1 plate, I think. So they lost their first round playoff game to Murray, and then went on a run to the plate to win.
Yeah,
the
so
plate.
again, they'll be okay. That's what I'm saying. Look at it even across the board with Bucks Wolves. They'll be good. They'll be okay. Obviously, we don't know who they're bringing. Obviously, that's a little bit different compared to a Div 1 team. If they're just sending some guys up to want to go play flag, you never know with these teams when they come up for down south. Because of this reduced squad, you often send the strongest squad. That you possibly can. But then on the other hand, it's like, well, sometimes people drop out. They can only send who they can. Work commitments. You just never know. So I think this is a very difficult group to call, much like they all are, I suppose. But I'd be Reading Devils. I think are going to win the group, and then it's going to be between Rexy and Swansea. But I don't know who Rexy's got. So Rexy, if they've got like their Scott McDonald, Aaron Drummond, and Keith.
It's a team.
Yeah. I just don't know if they're going to be Swansea Hammerheads good, but I think that'll be your top 3, I think. I'll be Rexy, Swansea, and Reading. And I'd like the Colts to be chomping at the bit. I think so. We've got a competent squad. We've got a good squad. Be the first time I've really played together as just a Colts team, which I'm really interested in. So we should do okay. I'm looking forward to it. It's short format. Anything can happen. I've played a few more games now, so I actually feel a little bit more comfortable coming into this weekend. Yeah, I had 3 games at the Interclub tournament with the Grangemouth guys, which were all right. And then obviously a few snaps at Flag and New Year, not too many, but kind of getting myself back into the routine of playing again. So I'm looking forward to more games, like actually at quarterback now. This will be my first proper day of like 5 games, potentially more, just setting this up for the New Year. So I'm not really looking at Flag and New Year, Flag and Ironman as like a Colts do well day for me. Honestly, it's just get reps with the guys, work on our playbook together. This is
your entire preseason in one day.
Pretty much, I'm getting to fling at Duffy, Stevie Cliff. I'm starting to fling at the guys they're going to be playing with this year for the very first time. So there's going to be a lot of chemistry to work on. So I'm not overly concerned how the day goes, but as long as we improve as the day goes on and we get more dialed in with the playbook, I'll be very happy. But outside of not talking about the Colts, but yeah, Reading Devils, and I'll leave up to you. I don't know who you'd want to take from the other.
I mean, I'll pick us just for drama.
You're gonna pick up? I'm cool with that. I'll take that too.
I'll pick us just for drama.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Group C.
Oh, for goodness sake!
Potential to be absolutely thrilling. So as not defending champions, as former champions, the London Smoke were also given their own group, also assigned, and then the Glasgow Killer Bees, the Exeter Falcons, Smoke 2, the Gunslingers, and the mysterious Fan Club were slotted in.
Do you know who the Fan Club are, Bez? Are you in the inter?
I am not privy to the Fan Club other than to expect big things.
Okay. So, right, I'll look forward to that. Right.
So I've been told to Alan Young has been sworn to absolute secrecy.
I love it.
He did give away to expect big things and expect them to be there later into the evening. So taking him at his word, I will
Smoking Fan Club.
Smoking the Fan Club. Just on that. Just on Alan Young's I
was gonna go smoke, but if you're saying Fan Club with the internal rumors, I'm happy to ride that shit with you, Ben.
If anyone wants to hear the direct quote of where that information is coming from, last week's episode, the kind of after the reaction show with Alan Young, we didn't really discuss them before or after the show. So everything you hear on there is the entirety of my information, and it's about 25 seconds long.
There you go.
So yeah, I'll go with what's there.
I'll ride with you, Beth. I'll ride with you.
So yeah, Smoke and and it was particularly funny, that conversation, given that of course Mr. Young is in that group with the Killer Bees. So
that's true, actually.
Watching him draw out 2 Smoke teams and the Fan Club was quite funny. So
his nod of disapproval, I'd imagine,
is just I think his actual quote was, but then also, to be fair, if I could get a win over Charlie, I would never let him hear the end of it. So good GB coach, GB quarterback banner there. So that's that. And then on to Group D, where obviously Granger Broncos, last year's silver medalists, were also assigned to the group alongside the Raptors, the Vikings, the Frenzy, the Lincolnshire Longhorns, and now the Fake Bats. So Grangemouth to walk it.
Broncos by a mile. Yeah.
Broncos,
I think this, if anything, I was to say this is probably the weakest group to be. It's harsh, but I think it's like there's a lot more between second and last is a bit more open.
I think if the Raptors don't get out of this group, I'll be stunned to my core.
Yeah, you'd imagine they should. If they've got Ben,
if they're just playing, they're not even if PJ's not playing, like
Ben and Ross,
they have to get out of this group. They have to get out of this group.
You would imagine so. I think I'd probably run with you on that too. I'd say Raptors and Broncos, just based upon complete history of knowing who they are, and obviously the other teams that.
I mean, they are back to back. They are back to back winners of the Wee Hammers. So now is the time for them to step up to the
this year,
the championship plate. Not to pile the pressure on Renfrewshire, but I will not accept anything other than a playoff run. And just in case. In case.
You get to bring it.
I'll bring it.
Oh, yes, let's go. And you never know, it might happen.
It could happen. So let's have a look. So hang on. Standings, knockout phase. So
This is on Tournify, yeah?
Yeah. So Group A play Group B. So the winner. So what are they? Group D.
Yeah, Group D.
So if they come second in Group D, and we came second in Group B, and then both teams upset the winner of Group A and the winner of Group C, we could meet in the semi-final of the championship bracket.
Ooh.
Then it would also, as long as Rex's Minute Runners and Renfrewshire Raptors finish in the same, because they're B and D. Or even in the plate, as long as if we both finish first or second, or we both we both have to finish the same number in the standings, and we can meet in the semi-finals of either bracket, or otherwise we'd have to meet in the final.
Gotcha.
That's a convoluted way of saying it can happen, but a couple of other things have to happen first.
Yeah. It's going to be an interesting one.
So, but yes, I will bring the trophy. I will bring the Jurassic Jewel.
So in this format,
yeah.
So it's first and second teams go to the championship bracket,
yeah,
and third and fourth place teams go into the plate, and that's it, right? There's no like lower bracket.
No, there's no. Yeah, so the bottom two teams are out.
Yeah, I thought that. Okay, that's fine. God, I'd love to be there. Get home all day at Ravens Creek. Jesus.
Yeah. And also, if you are in, so it's weird as well, because if you're in one half of the bracket, you play every half hour. Okay. So like if you are first in Group B, second in Group A, first in Group D, second in Group C, your quarterfinal. So your quarterfinal is 7:30, the semi-final is 8, and the final is 8:30. Whereas if you're on the other side,
not quite back to back, but close.
So well, it's 3 games. It's 3 straight games.
Yeah,
it's every half hour kickoff. Whereas if you're on the other side, if you're first in Group A, second in Group B, first in C, or second in D, you'll get a 7 o'clock game, an 8 o'clock game, and an 8:30 game. So you will get 1 game off. But whether or not that's useful, I don't know. It's just the luck of the draw, and it's kind of the same.
I think it will be. You can't really plan that far ahead.
It's the same in the plate bracket. Like you, yeah. But the whole point of the game is basically in the knockout rounds, winner stays on, losers become refs, and that's it. You're done for the day. So yeah, could be fun.
It always is. It's always good.
Quick, it's always short. Good.
It's quick and short formats, less numbers, less players. Anything can happen. Quick turnaround. You know, they're not doing the same as Flag and Ironman, where the final is a longer clock, is it?
No, it's all.
I don't think so.
It's fast. It's fast the whole way. Yeah, it's not. Cool. Basically, because I think the staff at the Leisure Centre want to go home.
That's true. So yeah, if you've got an injury, please roll off the side of the pitch.
Yeah, if you could just move beyond the white line, that would be great.
Yeah, that'd be amazing. Just keep games flowing. I think it'll be good. I think it's difficult to call a winner after that. I know we've been yapping for a fair bit tonight, but it's so difficult. Like as soon as you get through to like that sort of championship bracket next level,
it's hard.
It's so difficult. I mean, Broncos, Smoke, Fan Club, Reading Devils are probably my pick. If I were to pick some, but obviously I don't know what that then. Could they play each? I don't really know, but that's the teams I'd be picking. So
yeah, what will be interesting is like the winner. Like if you come second, like if you win Group D, so Broncos, because of the strength of Group C, if it is what we think it's going to be, you could end up with a really hard quarterfinal.
Could be. Is it C versus D?
Yeah. So it's 1 in C versus 2. It's 1 C, 2D, 2D, 1C.
Ah, got you. Okay.
So you could work it out. So the winner, the top 2 in our group will play the top 2 of Group 1 of Group A.
Yeah. I think Reading Devils have got a nice wee path, I think. If I was to pick a team that's going to go on to do well this weekend, I'd like to say maybe Reading Devils.
So they would play, their semi-final would be first Group D, second Group C.
Yeah. I think that's going to be that's where they're just going to get spicy. It could be the Broncos, Reading Devils, Broncos, for example, in a semi-final. That could be a good one. Who knows, Bez? So joys of the Flag and Ironman tournament.
It's so
It's
good.
still one of your favorites of the year, isn't it?
It's definitely up there. I've always loved this tournament. Ever since like the first kind of, I just need to fill a leisure center for the day thing. The first one was just silly. The second one was outside, and then from then on, it's really gone on from strength to strength. Like I think it's great. I really, really enjoy it. Especially now that it's starting to get more of a draw, like,
yeah,
I think like you get like the hardcore sadists, like the returning teams. But like I think the teams that have been there for every single one, or at least, maybe three of the last three in a row, maybe since it really kind of took off.
Yeah.
In the Hornets, in us, in Grangemouth, it's great to see Swansea back. Great to see London coming every single time. Edinburgh, the Raptors have pretty much always been there. Even back to the days when the first year out, I think they were still the Paisley Spartans, but
were the days.
Yeah, so it's it'll be cool. It'll be cool. I think it's great. I think it's just something different. There's a lot of 12-minute format for all the obvious reasons is the most popular choice to run your tournament. It's the way that we run it at the Quake. It's the way obviously Big Bowl pioneered it, Pink Bowl and King Bowl and Flag of New Year. It's all about the teams that you can pull in at that level, and the kind of the extras and the location you can be in.
Big time.
So for me, this is a little bit different. It's why at the Quake, I always try and find a mad format. I'm really upset that I never got to use the Aussie rules format last year. I still think that has legs. And if,
never rule it out.
Never rule it out. We're not sure. We're not sure if we're going to do the Quake this year yet. We're still waiting on a couple of things from the venue, but which will make or break us. But if we do, maybe we'll bring that back.
That track.
So, yeah, but cool. It's been a good show, I think, Tree. It's been a long day, but it's been a good show.
Yeah, it's been a lot. There's been a lot going on in the league. That's what I was saying. There's always something happening in the flag football community these days for us to have a wee yap about and catch up on. And we've still got more to come. We've still got conspiracies of the week. We've got that. We've got our questions to the community. We've got Bez and the review, Greg in the review. There's so many little tidbits and stuff.
There's a lot of little things that are kind of coming up in the future, and obviously we will be doing our review of the show of the tournament next week. So make sure you come back and join us for that, where we talk through all the gossip of a absolutely mammoth day in Ravenscraig once again. So yeah. Anything else you can think of, Tree?
Nothing immediately springs to mind. Not around the league or anything I'm aware of. No, don't think so. I'll be interested to see the Mustang strip. That's not been released yet, I don't think, or I don't think people are aware of that. I've not even seen it, so I've got no idea. I don't think so. But other than that, I'll keep my ears to the ground and I will listen out for anything between now and next week, and I will see a lot of people at the weekend, I suppose. It feels weird because we're doing this on a Tuesday.
Yes,
I was going to say I'll see you tomorrow, or I'll see you because the podcast world. Tomorrow would be you release this on a Friday, and I'll see you tomorrow.
I'll see you tomorrow, but no, it's only Valentine's Day, and we're going to end with a Valentine's Day joke, Tree.
Oh, Bez, you spoil me.
How do vampires know if they've had a successful Valentine's Day?
I'm not sure, Bez.
It's love at first bite.
Oh, there we go.
There you go. That is a Valentine's Day joke. And we will send everybody into their lovely day with that. So yeah, it is goodbye from Tree.
Good evening, everyone. See you later.
It is goodbye from me. Goodbye. That is the way we HNC it. Remember that you can be sure to never miss an episode of The Way We HNC It by subscribing on whatever platform you listen on and ensuring that you leave us a couple of stars as a review. To be honest, we're not entirely sure what that does, but if you enjoy the show, give us some decent stars and tell your friends. And if you don't enjoy the show, then feel completely free to tell nobody about it. You tried, you didn't like it, but hey, at least you tried and at least we got here. And to be honest, you must have liked it a little bit because at the end of the show, you're still listening. Speak soon, everyone. Have a great week.